Well, that needs to be addressed. You know, this legislation is focused on the loan package and the interest rate.
Is this going to happen? Do you think you're going to be able to head off the increase?
You know, Wilson, Washington is on the edge of being dysfunctional. So my goal is to go down there and try to be a voice of reason and find a way to get this done. What year are you?
I'm a junior.
Are you broke? It's tough.
It is tough.
So the Stafford loan interest rate now is 3.4%. On July 1, that's going to double to 6.8%. That means on the maximum Stafford loan over a 20-year period, it will be $11,000 more in additional expense to a student who graduates. You know, this question of student loans and access to higher education is fundamentally important. It's ground zero for the middle class. Are the children of middle-class families going to have a shot at getting education that they can afford, or are they going to graduate with a financial albatross around their neck? And it's very tough now. The tuitions in our schools went up 8.5% last year. It's a tough job market for kids getting out of college. And entry-level salaries are really tough to try to pay the debt service. And we have to make a decision in this country as to whether we're going to renew our commitment to giving middle-class kids an opportunity to get into the middle class, low-income kids an opportunity to get into the middle class, or are we going to go to trickle-down economics? The student loans are a real challenge for us. It's over $800 billion, exceeding debts for auto loans and credit card. So this is a real challenge. And the question that many of us in Congress are asking is, if the government can borrow at 2%, why would Stafford loans be charged at 6.8%? There's no real justification. Keep in mind, this is a lending program. So students who borrow under the Stafford loans are going to pay that back. Taxpayers will be made whole. So it's a challenge for them already. So my goal and my colleagues is to find a way to make certain that we do not allow that doubling of interest rates to go into effect as scheduled on July 1. We want to keep that rate at 3.4% and not have it go to 6.8%, something that would just be a hammer blow to the aspirations of these kids.
While the interest rates, the percentages may sound low, especially to a new student, the thousands of dollars that it's going to accumulate from this is just, new students don't understand that. And I'm scared. I have student loans, and my friend Catherine owns those. She's a small business owner, and she works a second job, and she still can't meet her loans.
We all have kids, Republicans and Democrats, who want to make their way. And what Cody said is true. You know, you got to get an education. Patrick, you got to get an education. They're doing the things we want to, and that is not a Republican Democratic thing. That's the future of our country thing.
Is the debate a partisan issue?
You know, I do not believe this is a partisan issue. What I believe is that we've got toxic budget politics that are getting in the way of doing what needs to be done for all of our kids. But what is happening in Congress that's a threat to the country, in my view, is that we're doing everything that needs to be done on brinksmanship timeframes. So we had the debt ceiling, it went right up to the brink. We had the renewal of our budget to keep the lights on in government. It went up to the brink. And now we're literally putting middle-class families, low-income families, up to the brink on whether or not they're going to face a doubling of interest rates. So it's an approach that Congress is taking that's very detrimental to the security of everyday families in Vermont and around the country.
And how soon will we know if this change will happen on July 1?
Well, the latest we'll know is June 30th. So, you know, it's a really tough situation. But my view on this is that none of us in Congress can honestly look in the eyes of Cody and Patrick and Ben and say there's some reason that justifies us not finding a solution to this. This is a solvable problem, and Congress owes it to these families, to these students, to get it done. And